Hi guys. If you don't recognize my voice right away or don't know who this is Mr. Hobbs. I'm gonna be the one doing the video today that kind of Mr. Heading and Mrs. Burns did last week with the lesson online. Before we get started, I just want to say real quick how much I miss you guys, how much I want to see you guys, how much I wish we were at school right now, how much I'm thinking of you guys. And I can't wait to see you guys again. I don't know when that's going to be, but again, like I said, I'm thinking of you guys, and I'm hoping this online schooling is going okay for you. All right. So today we're going to be doing box and whisker plot part 1. So the goal or the objective of this online lesson is to find the 5 key values of a box and whisker plot. So we've talked about the scatter plot before we left for spring break. We also talked about the histogram before we left for spring break. The dot plot is what Mr. Heading and Mrs. Burns covered last week in the videos, and if you want to refresh or get more familiar with those, you can go back and watch those again. And then today, here in the bottom right-hand corner is a box and whisker plot. For some of you, this might look familiar. I know I've done it with a couple of you on Alex, but for some of you, you may have never seen something like this before. So at the end of these 2 videos, hopefully you are going to be able to understand the five key values. So here's a visual summary of a box plot. We have the box here in the middle, a whisker, and a whisker. So you can kind of see where the box and whisker, where it gets its name. So we have the minimum, quartile 1, the median, quartile 3, and then the maximum. Those are the 5 important key values that we're looking for, and I'm going to go into more depth here in the next slide. All right. So like I said, the minimum is the smallest number of the data set. So if we're given a data set and we don't have Desmos, I would want you to line your numbers up from least to greatest, and then the minimum is going to be the smallest number of the data set. The maximum is going to be the biggest number of the data set. The median, which we found before, is the middle number of the data set. If we have an odd amount of numbers, the median is going to be the middle number, one number. If the data set has an even amount of numbers, the median is going to be 2 numbers, and we're going to add those 2 numbers together and then divide by 2 to give us a median. And then the first quartile and the third quartile. I'm actually going to show you here in a bit an easy step to find all 5 of these things when we're given a data set. Okay, so the first quartile, before I move on, is the number that marks the first 25% of the data. And then the third quartile is the number that marks 75, the 75% mark of the data. Okay, and I will explain that here in just a second, a little bit more in depth, so you guys understand what it is. Okay, so what is the root word of quartile? Quarter. Okay, so a quarter we know represents 25% of a dollar, is 25% of a dollar, I think I said 25 cents. 25 cents or 25% of a dollar, 1/4. And when we think of quarter, we think of 1/4. When we think of quartile, we think of 1/4, 25%. So from the minimum to quartile 1, we have 25% of our data. From quartile 1 to the median, we have 25% of the data. From the median to quartile 3, we have 25% of our data. And then from quartile 3 to the maximum, we have 25% of our data. Okay, so now I want to talk about the quartile 1. Quartile 1 represents the 25% mark of the data, of all the data. So this is the 25% mark of the data. And then it also represents the median of the first 50% of the data. So we have 50% of our data, as you can tell, when we have 25 plus 25. So we have 50% of our data right here. Quartile 1 represents the median of that data. And then quartile 3 is the 75% mark, and it represents the median of the last 50% of the data. Okay, so we have quartile 1 and then quartile 3. Okay. So now we're going to take a look at the 5 key values looking at a box plot. So in order to find the minimum, we're going to look at the smallest number of the data set, and that's going to be 29. The maximum is going to be the largest number, so that's going to be all the way over here. It's going to be 41. The median is the middle number of the complete data set, and that's going to be 37. The first quartile represents the 25% mark right here, or the median of the first 50% of the data, and that's going to be 33. And then the third quartile represents the 75% mark, or the median of the last 50% of the data. Okay, so these 5 numbers are not all of the numbers in the data set. These 5 numbers are the only important things that we're looking at when trying to create a box plot on our own, okay? So we have the minimum, quartile 1, the median, quartile 3, and then the maximum, okay? So now we're going to find the minimum, maximum, median, first quartile, and third quartile using Desmos. And I'm going to show you a very easy way, and you're going to thank me later when we punch all these numbers in. So we're going to go to Desmos. We should open up Desmos if we don't have it open already. And we're going to go to Desmos. And then for time's sake, I already punched all these numbers in. Okay. So if you forget how to punch these numbers in, you're going to go up here and click the plus sign and then hit table. And then it's going to allow you to be able to punch all these numbers in. So if we go back to the slides, it's going to say type in the data into a table. So we've done that. Step 2 says use stats x of 1. So if we type in stats parentheses x1 parentheses, would you look at this? It gives us the minimum, quartile 1, the median, quartile 3, and then the maximum. Exactly all of the 5 things that we're looking for. Okay, so now here is a bunch of different numbers, a different data set. Okay, now I want you to pause your screen here in the next couple seconds, and I want you to open up Desmos again. Like I said, have Desmos open, punch all these numbers into a different data set, and then type in stats x of 1, and then you're going to be able to find the minimum, maximum, median, first quartile, and third quartile. Okay. So once you unpause your video, we're going to go down here, and because for time's sake, I also had this table punched in. And if you can see, if you want to do 2 tables at once, this is going to be x of 2. So now I'm going to have to go down here and then type stats x of 2. Okay. And then it's going to give me the minimum, quartile 1, median, quartile 3, and then the maximum. So you should have had these same 5 numbers. You should have came up with these same 5 numbers in your data set. Okay. So for your assignment, you're going to be doing the box plots edge elastic that can be found on Google Classroom. If you have any questions, shoot Mr. Heading or Mrs. Burns an email. We are all here for you. If you have any questions, we're also on Google Meet a couple times a week for 45 minutes to an hour, where you can just come in and ask away, ask questions, or just say hi. Like I said before, I miss all you guys. I'm thinking about you guys every day. I hope you guys are doing okay. And I can't wait for the next time I get to see you. All right. Bye, guys.